I've always wondered what would happen if all of my favourite Final Fantasy characters lived in the same world. Well, World of Final Fantasy explores just this. It throws everything we love about the series into one giant adorable package. Unlike the mainstream titles, this one is aimed at a much younger audience, and at times this is painfully obvious. Just one look at the chibi style characters, kid-friendly writing, and cutesy redesigns of our favourite ferocious beasts, and you'll realise that this title would be well suited in a kindergarten. But if you can put this aside, then you'll also find that World of Final Fantasy has quite a bit to offer, even if it never excels in any particular area. To put things simply, it had a job to do and it did it well, but is it worth the 40 hours of your life? I'll let you be the judge of that one. So, one day siblings Rain and Lan wake up to an empty town and soon realise that they've been hit with a good old case of amnesia. Seriously, if amnesia didn't exist, what would game writers do with themselves? Naturally, the two want to figure out who they are, and they're told to do that they need to travel to the world of Grimoire to gain their memories. Yeah, this is a world where everyone is in little tiny chibi form. Oh, and they also have markings on their arm, which enables them to capture monsters known as mirages and use them in battle. The plot thickens! Yeah, there's nothing really special with the plot. You're also forced to watch all the scenes with subtitles, which is something that I personally hate. There are loads of dungeons to get through and mirages to catch. Fortunately, the constant banter between Lan, Rain and their Mirage companion Tama makes this exploration a little less tedious. However, Lan is just a complete idiot. He is consistently stupid and is involved in countless cringe-worthy dialogues, often trying to milk the same joke dozens of times. I don't know, maybe I'm just becoming an old man with no sense of humour, or maybe it's that the writers only had little kids in mind when writing the script. With that said, occasionally the game did give me a chuckle.
I am now loving this weather.
It makes me just want to laugh out loud.
Ah ha 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 fucking ha. Oh yeah, back to Tama. Apparently she never took an English class, as the constant addition of the word the is very infuriating.
That's correct. The marks on your arms are proof. You were born to work the miracles.
If you've played a good amount of the main FF games, chances are that you'll be hit with a little nostalgia everywhere you go, from the music remixes to the towns to the mirages and the characters. Unfortunately, the towns are very limited and most consist of just one corridor and a few NPCs to talk to. The dungeons are much the same. They can be very lengthy and very linear, which makes trekking through them a bore. Let's take the big bridge for example. It certainly was big. It took a good 20 minutes to get from one side to the other. Yay, fun! Now it's time for a cultural lesson. Carrying things on your head is a common practice in many parts of the world. It's seen as an alternative to carrying heavy objects on the back or the shoulders. Look around the world of Final Fantasy and you'll see that head carrying is quite the cool thing to do. Fish, pots, chocobos, you name it, they'll do it. This, putting things on your head and also things on the head of things that are already on your head, is a unique mechanic in World of Final Fantasy, and it is called stacking. Basically, there are 3 sizes to consider when stacking your mirages: small, medium and large. The base of this stack needs to be large, then medium and finally small on top. When your characters or mirages are all stacked, all of their stats and abilities are combined. Abilities can also be upgraded through stacking. For example, if a small mirage has fire and a medium mirage also has fire, they will combine for a more powerful fire spell. This is where choosing the right combinations of mirages becomes important. Let's take an ice boss for instance. Here you'll want to create a stack with decent ice resistance but also some fire magic for the offense. This system works well but has a few flaws, such as the option to unstack monsters in battle. I honestly don't see the point of unstacking. I only once experimented with it and it was useless. Individual monsters were just too weak offensively, limited in what they could do, and died too easily. I would have loved this system to make unstacking more viable, as it seemed like a wasted mechanic. So, what of the battle system, you ask? It is pretty damn simple. Here we have your basic ATB system that stops when it's your turn. For some reason, the developers built in 2 battle interfaces, one of which I found pointlessly complicated and worthless. Aside from the basic attack, defend, use an ability, yada yada, you can also summon past heroes to aid you, and this is really cool. Once the gauge is charged, you can choose your favourite heroes to aid you in battle. It's awesome seeing Cloud come along with Omnislash or Squall kick ass with his Lionheart. I also have to mention the implementation of the fast forward option. This is godly as the battles move at a very slow pace, and fast forwarding is something that I did all the time. But for me, it was also a double-edged sword as it allows you to fast forward voice acted scenes as well. I often found myself quickly reading through the forced subtitles and then fast forwarding over the voice acting as soon as I read the text. This ruined some of the atmosphere, and yeah, I know, I had zero self-control here. Your Mirages can increase in strength on the Mirage board. They receive AP from leveling up, and you can use these points on new skills or stat increases. After a certain point, they can unlock related Mirage boards and choose to evolve into a new, more powerful Mirage. But this is where some of the strategy comes in, as it's not always the best idea to evolve. This is because most of the time, the size of the Mirage will also increase, which will impact your stacks. You'll catch many Mirages on your travels, and it was great seeing all of my favourite monsters return and fight on top of my head. I did have a bit of an issue though, and that is that when caught, all Mirages start at level 1, making it very difficult to get them up to a par level. A significant factor of a Mirage's strength is their level, and if you're using one 10 levels lower than another, it's just not viable. Most of my main party were Mirages from the first quarter of the game because of this issue, but I guess it doesn't matter too much as the game is also very easy and poses little to no challenge, but this is just the way kids like it, I guess.
You know I hate that kind of...
For tickets,
It's just the conductor.
Oh, then this must be the same train as the Always. Huh? The conductor?
yes, in all my succulentious glory.
What? Why did you scare me?
And that is World of Final Fantasy. Cute little behemoths, throwing things on your head, cringe-worthy jokes. That pretty much sums it up. The game is clearly targeted at children, so with that in mind, yeah, it did its job well. Seeing your favourite characters in a new setting and the amount of Mirages that you can capture and evolve are the best parts of this game. The stacking system is also a nice mechanic, but has some flaws that limits the gameplay quite a bit. Everything else is just standard, nothing really stands out as above average. The childish appeal is also something that may put some older gamers off, and this is understandable. World of Final Fantasy is definitely recommended for children new to the series, but for you older gamers, there's just so many amazing games coming out in the next few months, so I say play those instead. This was Hellfire RPGs, thanks for watching. If you like this, hit the like button and subscribe for more RPG content. See you next time.